Hi guys, Tim and Toby back again for another episode. This one is episode 5, the German invasion of Crete. So this of course is how Germany was winning the war. And so to start the video, Crete was a very tiny island in Greece. Greece kind of has separate islands, and Crete was a very small inhabited, small island, or just off Greece, off Crete, off Greece, where the Germans wanted to actually land their paratroopers and take hold of the island because it's a very good base for having aircraft on. So the Luftwaffe can land their planes and literally move out anywhere they want to from Crete itself. So on the 20th of May 1941, 600 German Fallschirmjägers, or paratroopers, dived down literally in a hail of bullets from the 2nd Battalion of the New Zealand. I can't remember exactly which New Zealand regiment it was, but it's a New Zealand regiment, who were basically there to defend the island. To cut a long story short, really, but it was for the Germans, it was a big massacre. It was the last time paratroopers or Fallschirmjägers that Hitler called out to drop on an island. It was the last time a massive, big-scale operation like that was ever undertaken, because it was literally just falling into a big nest of brambles, falling into a big hail of bullets. And out of the 600 who parachuted in, just nearly getting close to 400 men perished. So that's only 200. 200 actually survived, which is a big, it was a big letdown, a big disaster for Hitler. So he didn't call it off, but he called it off for the last time that paratroopers would be used in mass operations like that. So that was the 20th of May 1941. So as the paratroopers actually very quickly got down there and quite quickly overrun Crete, it's quite funny that when they were battling against the New Zealand troops, they were also battling against the Crete civilian population, villagers, who were really farmers with their pitchforks trying to oust them out, which is interesting. And we actually, I'll tell you one quite famous massacre that happened. But before that, do you want to continue a bit, Toby?
Yes, okay, so the whole invasion of Crete basically pivoted on the Germans taking several airfields around the island, which obviously were very, very well defended. Now, despite having clear proof that the Germans had already landed and were trying to attack the airfields, the British commander actually ordered his men to stay on the coast because they thought the Germans would invade by sea, which they tried to, but it didn't really work. Now, the Germans trying to get up the hills onto these airfields really took an absolute raking of fire. Bofors guns firing down onto them. In one company, things got so bad that the company medic leader had to take over, and actually managed to win because the British withdrew for some reason back. And the reason it was so important to capture the airfields is the Germans had what's known as Luftlander divisions, which land by gliders and by planes. And they basically were using these airfields to ferry in Jerbesjager and all kinds of other stuff. And if they were taken, the island would be doomed. When they were taken, the planes were coming in at a terrifyingly impressive rhythm of about, I think, 10 an hour or something, possibly more. So by that point the island's fate was really sealed, but, the Cretians themselves put up a really brutal fight, attacking the Paras with pitchforks and stuff, because the Germans couldn't actually land with MP40s or with their K98s. They could only land with a pistol, so a PPK or a P38 or something, and they only had one mag for that. So as a result, they had to scramble around looking for drop canisters, a lot of which went into the sea, and as a result, they were just very short on everything. So I'll pass you back over to Tim.
Right, thanks, Toby. So this quite slightly famous massacre done by the German Luftlander was on the 2nd of June 1941 in a village called Condamary, also known as the Condamary Massacre, which is a small village. The Germans round up the inhabitants of roughly 23, they say, and the Luftlander literally just completely, as I say, massacred them, shot them by firing squad, and there's some quite famous photographs actually taken as well. But I mean, I've heard of some reports saying up to 60 in total were massacred instead of the 32, but you know, reports different. But yeah, it's a very terrible massacre. But it's famous. But again, there's loads of others like Malmedy, which are more famous. But yeah, that's that. So Toby, is there anything you want to say before we end the video?
I don't think so. Just thank you for listening, and yeah, I'll hand you back to Tim.
Okay, yeah. Thanks for listening as well, guys. So that's the end of this video. Next episode will be episode 6, and will be on Dieppe, the very famous, tragic Canadian, American, British raid on Dieppe, which basically went horribly wrong. So thanks for watching, guys. We will see you in the next video. Bye.